Hickey poo. As you can see from the looks of things out my front door, the weather's taken quite a turn here. A week I was planning on going out and doing a lot of stuff, shooting a lot of videos and taking care of some personal things. And we get this icky yucky cruddy stuff. But it does kind of motivate me to do a couple of things I've thought about doing. Remember when you were a kid? Now maybe again, I'm probably showing my age here. But when I was a kid, I'll put it this way: when I was a kid, one of my uncles, they would travel quite a bit, and one of the great joys when I was a kid was when they would do slideshows. My grandmother hated it, but for me it was kind of like going to the movies. I got to travel quite a bit, well, a little bit anyway, a few years ago, but I did not take video, and there's various reasons. I had a camera, but I was having computer problems, and then when I got a new computer, the computer and the camera really weren't compatible, so my camera didn't work with the computer, stuff like that. But I did take a lot of pictures. That's what you get as a slideshow. And it keeps me out of this mess. Okay, I decided to go ahead and hold it to just the Kentucky pictures. If I can give a brief explanation, I had a virus on my computer that I had all those. I lost a ton of pictures. All my writing from Examiner.com was just wiped out. Luckily, I had put some of my Examiner.com, from my sports writing days, put some of those pictures on a disc. I had my Kentucky pictures on a disc. I never got around to putting my South Dakota pictures on a disc, or Houston or anything. I do have a few of those online, but what I had handiest was the Kentucky pictures. But I thought, well, I got a ton of pictures from Kentucky. I have shaved it down a lot, so I'm just going to do a little thing about my Kentucky trip. This was 9 years ago, by the way. So let's go ahead and get started. This is just going through Kentucky, or going through Arkansas, rather. I believe somewhere around, there's my phone, had to make an appearance. Somewhere around the exit to Hope, Arkansas. Pretty scenery in Arkansas. They got some cruddy roads in that state. This is coming into Tennessee, leaving Arkansas, coming into Memphis, Tennessee. You can see the pyramid off kind of to the left there. This was before, who owns it now? That outdoor supplier place. I can't remember. I can't think of what it's called now, but this was just when it was just a pyramid. I don't think anybody was in it at the time. It's kind of an odd sight to see coming across that bridge. That's the best shot I could get of the Mississippi River through my dirty window. And that's the first night. First, I was hoping to make Nashville that first night. I got all the way, well, I left my house at 8:30 in the morning, but then I went and I sat with my mother for a while. And I left Gainesville, Texas about 10 o'clock that morning. And got here, I was hoping to make Nashville, but I got to Dixon, Tennessee. It was 8 o'clock, it was raining, it was getting dark. I was hungry. I'd been in the car for the lion's share of 12 hours. And I said, you know what, Dixon, Tennessee is far enough. But I included this one because just a couple of years ago, a friend of mine was going, he's bounced back and forth between Texas and Kentucky, and he's living in Indiana now, but He actually stopped at that same gas station, that Exxon gas station there. I was taking some pictures. Just thought that was kind of funny. Just we ended up kind of in that same place. And this is Kentucky. The pictures don't do it justice. If you've never been to Kentucky, you just have to go. Just some breathtaking scenery there. How could I not? And yeah, I know it didn't originate in Kentucky, but still, it's Kentucky Fried Chicken. How could I not eat Kentucky Fried Chicken in Kentucky? This was on my grandmother's land, or what was my grandmother's land. That's where my dad and my uncle grew up. And, yeah, that was my first time seeing it. Of course, that's the back of the house there on the left, but I'm pretty sure that house has been redone. It's probably not even the same house that was there when they were growing up. This is the Red Mile. I guess it's referred to as great uncle. I never understood that, why your grandmother's siblings would be your great uncle and great aunt. It seemed like it would be grand uncle and grand aunt. But anyway, my grandmother's brother was a jockey. 2 appearances in one. That's getting ridiculous. His name was Roy Head, if you want to look him up. He raced at the Red Mile years ago. That's just another shot of the inside at the Red Mile. Always forget I catch that bird in kind of an awkward position. Big baseball fan. They've got a single A minor league team at the time. I believe they were an Astros. The Astros single A affiliate. I think they're with the either the Royals or the A's now. But I stopped in and took in a Lexington Legends game, and that's just a neat looking house. I think that was across the street from the cemetery. Looks like it might have been vacant. I don't know. I didn't even think to look for stuff like that at the time, but there's something in there in that one window. But yeah, it's a neat looking house anyway. And that's just some shots of downtown Lexington. I was in a parking garage. That's at Lexington Center. Really cool kind of fountain that they have that wraps around. It was impossible to get the entire thing in one shot, but I just used the best picture. That's from on top of the parking garage. Actually, wasn't even sure where Roop Arena was. Thought that might be my only chance to get a shot of it, so I do actually have another picture of it though. That is some more of downtown Lexington. I believe that's a church. I believe that's a museum now. I never did go to it, but it's a neat looking building. And that's on the way to Louisville. Like I said, we don't really have anything like that around here. So that was looked pretty cool to me. Now this is Churchill Downs. I had no idea they had races that day when I went over to Louisville. If I'd known, I had somebody waiting on me in Versailles. If I had known that they were going to have races that day, I would have rearranged my schedule a little bit and tried to go to a race. It's not like I'm that big on horse racing, but I figure if you have a chance to see a horse race at Churchill Downs, you should take the opportunity. But I didn't have time. I had it planned out. I was just going to stop and take a picture. And like I said, I kind of wish I'd went ahead and said screw it and went ahead and win anyway. But you know, that's the other. Couldn't really get the whole thing in one shot of that either. That's might maybe a little more recognizable as Churchill Downs. And that's just another neat looking building. Not exactly sure what that is. And it's Muhammad Ali Boulevard. I thought that was pretty cool. And this was on the way to the Louisville Slugger Factory. That's actually the main reason I went to Louisville. Was I can't be that close to the Louisville Slugger Museum and Factory and not go. So I ran over there. It's actually a Sunday, so they weren't working, but the museum was open. And took the museum tour. And Inside you see that's a list of all the Hall of Fame members that have used the Louisville Slugger. It's quite a list. And then this is a replica of Babe Ruth's bat. They had two different stations there. They had bats made to different players' specifications. They had a bat for Babe Ruth, Ken Griffey Jr. You see there. And they had of course, you could pick these up and hold them. They had them chained down, but you could still pick them up. And Derek Jeter was there. A Derek Jeter bat. Honus Wagner, maybe. One other, I can't remember who the other one was, but Babe Ruth's bat was not as big as I would think. It was actually seemed like kind of just a regular bat, not a bat that I didn't get a picture. I don't know why. Jackie Robinson's bat, the one made to his specifications. Good grief, the handle on that was just huge. I don't see how he swung that thing. I wish I had got a picture. I don't know why I didn't take a picture of it. This is Honus Wagner's jersey and a bat there. And a nice little. This is a free part of the museum. I didn't take pictures. I didn't know if you could take pictures during the tour. So this is in the little free museum part. That's pretty cool. That's the bat that Hank Aaron used to hit his 700th home run. And then they had these life-size mannequins. You can see Babe Ruth there and Ken Griffey Jr. in the back. I got an up-close picture of Ken Griffey Jr. They also had one of Ted Williams, but they both came out kind of blurry. This is the original bat, the Louisville Slugger. This is the first bat that the company ever made. As you can see there, made for Pete Browning, whose nickname was the Louisville Slugger. And this is a Babe Ruth, an actual Babe Ruth bat. This was used the season he hit 60 home runs. And it's one of the bats that he used to crack in the handle there. For every home run he hit, he would put a notch in the bat around the label. You can see there, that particular bat had 27 notches in it. And this is just downtown Louisville. And this is looking across the Ohio River at Indiana. I can't remember the name of the town now, but that's Indiana on the other side. So I've never been to Indiana, but I've seen Indiana. I thought about running over there, but I decided not to. And after seeing some stuff online, what people said is it's apparently quite a task. It sounds easy just to drive across the bridge to that town in Indiana, but from what people say, it's quite a chore, traffic-wise, to get across there. This is at Lexington Cemetery. My father is buried there. It's a huge cemetery. My dad's cousin told me that she actually got lost in there, and I was like, how do you get lost in the cemetery? Then I got there and I got lost. If you get off your trail at all, it's easy to get lost in that sucker. There's 16,000 people buried here. And of course, I guess it's this way everywhere. You kind of have that thing where you're not supposed to step on somebody's grave or what. They've got everybody so buried so close together. There are places you can't help but walk on someone's grave. So yeah, it's a huge cemetery, beautiful cemetery too. And there's the shot of Riverina. I did eventually get a closer shot. That's through my windshield. You can see some stuff laying on my dash there in the reflection. And it's Martin Castle, or Castle Martin, or whatever. That's near Versailles. I can't remember the story behind all that now. Can't remember if that's a castle that somebody just had built, or if it was a castle somewhere else and they had dismantled and moved here. Exactly what it was. But there's a castle in Kentucky anyway. And this is Richmond, Kentucky. That's some kind of city building. I can't remember what it said on the front of it now, but and then this is just, I thought this was a neat looking building. The Glendon Hotel, my dad's cousin's son, whatever that would be to me. Second cousin, I guess, something like that. He worked there. He wasn't there that day, though. And this is just, I stopped at a gas station as I was leaving out. I had to take one more good shot of the Kentucky countryside. And then that's just to prove that I was there. that was me. And that's in Nashville. I did stop in Nashville, stay the night in Nashville on the way back. That is where they had the Grand Ole Opry. I can't remember the name of it now. Through the magic of editing, it suddenly come to me. The Ryman Auditorium is what this is called. It's early in the morning. It's another one of those things I wish now I had spent a little more time down there, because it looked like there were some old record stores and stuff like that. But again, I was early in the morning. There was really nobody around. It was at the same time, I think, I don't know, maybe I didn't want to be walking around down in that part of Nashville by myself for very long. I don't know. But anyway, I actually had to walk across the street and touch it just to say that I had. And then didn't get a real good shot of this, but that's the Summit Center and the Nashville Visitor Center sitting out front of it. And say what you will about Tennessee, they know how to name their rest areas. And then on the way back, coming through Texarkana, that says I'm making it back to Texas. That is a long stretch, I'll tell you what. And then I finally, eventually made it home. Many a times the weary traveler from my hometown can see that water tower in the distance, and they know they're almost home. Well, that was it. I wish it was an old video of Kentucky, but still pictures is the best I could do. Well, I hope you enjoyed looking at those. I don't know, if people seem to like this, maybe I'll dig around and see if I can put my pictures together from South Dakota and some of the other ones. But if you are new, check out the other videos, and if you like what you see, feel free to click that red subscribe button. If you're old, a like will do. Well, I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you next time.